When you kill one, it is a tragedy. When you kill 10 million, it is a statistic. They call me killer, but I live only to serve the people. And the people's history will judge me. Where the Romans failed, I will succeed. Russia's borders will stretch from coast to coast, for a united Russia is our destiny. Those lands were taken away by corrupt Tsarist diplomats and criminal military officers. They were the enemies of the people. But enough of this. You have served me well. Continue to do so, and your future is as bright as the star of the Soviet Union. As a reward for your service to the people, I wish to promote you. Your first order as field captain is to proceed to Colchis Island. We need the ore there for a special project. In addition, we need to capture the Allied Communications Center. We must know what those Allied dogs are up to. Godspeed. Do what you must for the people.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Agreed.
Options.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Affirmative. At once. Affirmative. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Very well.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Awaiting order at once.
Options.
Very well.
Building.
Reporting. Agreed. Affirmative. Agreed. Agreed. At once. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. Agreed. Affirmative. At once. Very well. Very well. Very well. Very well. Agreed. Very well. At once. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. At once.
Construction complete. New construction options.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Very well. Yes, sir. At once. At once. At once.
Construction complete.
Of course. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Very well. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Of course.
New construction options.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Affirmative. Agreed. Very well. At once. Affirmative. At once. Affirmative. At once. Very well. Very well. Affirmative. At once. At once. Affirmative. Very well. At once.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building. Building. Construction complete. Building.
Report acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete. New construction options. Insufficient funds. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Agreed. At once.
Building.
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Agreed. Very well. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative.
Construction
Very well.
complete.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost. Cannot deploy here. New construction options.
Reporting. Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledged. Report. Acknowledged.
Base
Affirmative.
is under attack.
Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Awaiting
Construction
affirmative.
complete.
Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle acknowledged.
Preparing.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes,
Unit
sir.
ready.
Affirmative. Vehicle report. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting. Report. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Awaiting affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Vehicle report. Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting.
Building.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete. New construction options.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building. On hold.
Reporting. Yes,
Cancel.
sir.
Insufficient funds. Repairing. Unit
Yes, sir.
ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds. On hold. Cancel. Repairing. Building.
Report. Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
prepared.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Repairing.
Acknowledged.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Comrade. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit repaired.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Unit repaired.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Comrade. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting.
Unit
Acknowledged. Yes,
Building.
sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Our base
Yes, sir.
is under attack.
Acknowledged.
Preparing.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting order. Comrade. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit
yes, sir.
ready.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledged. Reporting.
Naval
Affirmative.
unit lost.
Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged.
Insufficient
Reporting.
funds.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Naval unit lost.
Waiting
Our base
order.
is under
Yes,
attack.
sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Preparing.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
prepared.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Preparing.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Preparing.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building. Unit
Yes,
prepared.
sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Comrade. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Waiting order.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Naval unit lost.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Naval
Affirmative.
unit lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Naval unit lost.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Affirmative. Comrade. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged.
Silos
Yes, sir.
completed. Building.
Awaiting orders. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Naval unit
Yes,
lost.
sir. Acknowledged.
Unit
Report.
ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Vehicle
Naval
reporting.
unit lost.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Naval unit
Reporting.
lost.
Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Reporting.
Building.
Acknowledged. Reporting. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Comrade. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Naval
Acknowledged.
unit lost.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Reporting. Affirmative. Comrade. Affirmative.
Training.
Comrade. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Training.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Comrade. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Comrade. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Training.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Comrade.
Unit
Affirmative.
Training.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Training.
Acknowledged.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds.
Acknowledged. 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 Comrade. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Comrade. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Silos needed. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building. Building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Building. Construction complete.
Engineering.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building. Base is under
Yes.
attack.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Yes. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
First objective met.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Report acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Vehicle acknowledged. Affirmative. Vehicle affirmative. Waiting acknowledged. Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Report acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Reporting. Comrade. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Yes, sir.
ready. Building.
Affirmative. Comrade. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Waiting order. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Comrade. Acknowledged.
On hold. Cancel. Construction complete. Unit ready. Building.
Awaiting orders. Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting order. Affirmative.
Insufficient
sir.
funds.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Repairing. Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Unit repaired.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Repairing.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Reinforcements have
Comrade,
arrived.
affirmative.
Insufficient
Acknowledged.
funds.
Vehicle reporting. Comrade, affirmative. Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Order. Acknowledged. Yes, affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Comrade, acknowledged. Comrade. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Repairing.
Vehicle reporting. Waiting acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit repaired.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged.
Unit
Yes, sir.
ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Insufficient
Acknowledged.
funds.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Comrade, affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Comrade, affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Waiting orders.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Comrade, affirmative.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Building. Repairing. Unit repaired. Unit ready. Building. Structure sold.
Reporting. At once.
Repairing. Unit ready. Building.
Waiting order. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Reporting.
Building. Unit
Affirmative.
repaired. Repairing.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Affirmative.
Unit repaired. Repairing. Unit
Vehicle
ready.
reporting.
Building.
Affirmative.
Unit repaired. Repairing. Unit ready. Building. Unit repaired. Repairing. Unit ready. Building. Unit repaired. Repairing. Unit ready. Building. Unit repaired. Repairing. Insufficient funds. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unit repaired.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Is under attack.
Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Repairing. Repairing. Unit repaired.
Awaiting orders.
Repairing.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit repaired. Repairing.
Vehicle acknowledged.
Unit
Ready and
repaired.
waiting. At once. Very well. Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit
Awaiting
lost.
orders. Affirmative.
Repairing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Building. Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Primary building selected.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Waiting
Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Yes,
Unit
affirmative.
lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Waiting acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, affirmative.
Second objective. Mission accomplished.